Grand Rising and welcome to the mat. My name is Trevor Taylor and I want to welcome you to an outdoor flow here in the beautiful sacred valley of the Incas. And today's flow, focus on the lower half, the roots, all right? So what I suggest is have a space, have a mat, and distraction free, all right? What I like to say is notice the distractions without being distracted. So in our flow today, we'll spend some time in some poses, 3 to 5 breaths. It may get a little hot at some points, and even in those intensities, again, just remain focused. What is your intention? Get clear on that. If you want to, grab some blocks, but we're only gonna be here for like 15, 20 minutes, all right? So, with all that being said, let's dive right in. We'll meet in child's pose. So bring the big toes to touch. See if you can get the shoulders away from the ears. And allow the forehead to hang heavy and touch the mat. And if you need to make any slight adjustments to get yourself comfortable, do so. Because you know your body better than I do and anyone else does. So if there's no other intention than to take care of yourself, then do that. Now just notice that you are breathing. And maybe you're not doing it intentionally, which is even better. But just notice that there is an intelligence in your body that knows how to take care of itself. Naturally inviting air in and letting it go. And your mind may already find itself drifting away from the breath. And that's why I'm here. This gently remind us to come back to our intention, to our focus, to the present moment. And now let's take 2 breaths intentionally, breathing in through the nose, into the belly. And slowly out the nose. And one more here. Breath in. And breath out. And now let's come into tabletop. We'll tuck the toes, kind of stretch the feet out a bit, and just kind of rock back and forth, placing some weight into the wrist and then back into the toes. And if there's a way that you would like to move in your body, that might be circles. And then you reverse. Just taking just a few more breaths here. On your next exhale, we'll sink the hips back toward the heels, keeping the toes tucked, and crawl the hands back. You might feel the stretch on the toes already, kind of fire toes. That's what one of my friends calls it. And notice if you can allow the toes to relax into the stretch and where else you might be holding tension right now. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Coming back to tabletop. Place the top of the hands onto the mat. We're not going to do too much on the wrist today, but I do want to just be mindful of them. All right. So palms facing up, fingers facing the knees, and maybe shifting side to side, back and forth, whatever feels good for you and your body. Okay. And now let's come back. From here, we're going to press our left knee down into the mat. You might even notice that low back curve disappears. All right, as you tuck the tailbone, shift your weight into the left knee and both hands. Let's open the right hip up to the side. And then exhale, bring it down. A few more times here. Breath in, lift high. Exhale, bring it back down. Inhale, take it up. And exhale, bring it down. This time, donkey kick. We'll lift the sole of the foot to the sky. Keep pressing that left knee down. And then exhale, knee to elbow. 2 more times. Your breath. Your body. Your practice. Now we'll make a circle in the reverse. Drawing the knee toward the wrist, then up to the side, lifting it up, and dropping it back down. Let's go 1 more circle. And then step that foot to the top of the mat. So now Anjaneyasana, press both back knee and front foot down, squeeze toward the middle of the mat. A little scissor squeeze in the legs there, guiding this right hip back. Take the hands up high, breath in. On the exhale, half Hanuman, breath out. 2 more times there. Inhale, sweep it up high, chest lifts, gaze lifts. Exhale, take it back. Hips go back, front foot flexes, toes up toward the forehead. 1 more time here. In through the nose. Exhale, draw it back. Pull the right hip and heel down into the mat. Now revolve lunge. Left hand to the inside, right hand to the inside of your knee. Good. And here, feel free to move and guide this knee however you'd like. All right. I've heard that motion is lotion. That's what my teachers taught me, so find what feels best for you and take the next few breaths. Just invite some movement that feels authentic to what your body is looking for. Still being mindful of the breath. Let's pause, roll onto the outside edge of your right foot, and gently guide this knee out to the side. Take 1 breath in. Can you relax the hip down and guide the knee back? Both hands frame the front foot, tuck the back toe. Let's take a deep breath in and lift the back knee. Spin that back foot down. We'll find warrior 1 from here. So your back foot is about 45 degrees in the top left corner of your mat, or in that direction. Hands sweep up, knee on top of the ankle, and then let's guide the hips so that the torso still faces the top of the mat. Shoulders away from your ears, maybe even gaze up towards your hands. Take 2 breaths here. One more inhale here. On your exhale, warrior 2. Front foot faces forward, back foot perpendicular. Heels aligned, arms stretched out to a T, but shoulders away from the ears. Chest lifts. 3 breaths here. Notice if you're shifting forward or back, or you want to get yourself centered. Slide that right knee toward the pinky side of your foot. Press the back edge of your foot down. Take one more breath here. And then side angle. That's forearm to the quad, hand to the sky, hand to the outside edge of your foot or your block. Let's take 3 breaths. Chin toward your left shoulder. Maybe find your thumb. Hello, fingers. Hello, clouds. Hello, tree. One more breath here. Exhale, both hands down, frame the front foot. Spin on the back foot, heel facing the sky. Now right hand reaches for the sky. We got a revolve twist. See if this back leg wants to drop, completely fine. Or you can lift it. Press the heel away. Feel a little fire there. We got 3 breaths. In through the nose, into the belly. Find ease on the exhale out. Both hands down, frame the front foot. Press the hands down. We're going to step this left foot halfway up to the top of the mat for pyramid pose. Breath in, halfway lift. On the exhale, continue to press both feet down and fold at the hips, fold at the belly, chin toward the chest, forehead toward the knee. Let's take 3 breaths. On your next exhale, step to the top, forward fold. Maybe a slight bend in the knees may feel nice. You even feel a difference between one hip and the next. Don't worry, we're about to take care of that second side too. Inhale, halfway lift, hands into the shins. Reach the head away from the shoulders. Draw the shoulders down the back. Weight into the toes. On the exhale, keep that length in the spine and fold one more time. Inhale, press into the feet. Let's rise up. Hips come forward, roll the spine up. Hands sweep high, shoulders away from the ears. Turn your gaze to your hands, maybe bring them together. Exhale, Tadasana. Hands at heart center or by your side. Sweet. Let's go to that second side. Sweep the hands high. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Plant the hands down. Step both feet back. Find a plank. Pause. Squeeze the glutes. Press into the hands. Protract the shoulder blades by pressing your heel of the palm into the floor. Let's take 2 breaths here. Gaze at the top of the mat. And then exhale, bring the knees down. Let's go for that left hip. Wrist underneath the shoulders. Pressing both hands and this right knee into the floor. Lift the left hip out to the side, like a dog on a fire hydrant. Exhale, bring it down. So that 2 more times. Breath in. Breath out. One more here. And release. Sole of the foot high. And knee to elbow. 2 more times. And now reverse those circles. And then bring this foot to the top of the mat. Come back to our low lunge. Both feet and knee down. Hand sweep high, scissor squeeze the legs together. Find the hands. Exhale, take it back. Hips go back, spine still long. Front foot flexes. 2 more. Breath in. Breath out. Inhale, open up the chest, reach high. Exhale, take it back. Now, right hand down. We're gonna give some motion to that left hip. You know, with the hip being this ball and socket joint, much like the shoulder, it has the ability to really have some free range. But if our lifestyle or our movement patterns in the past, you can reverse it, by the way, or do whatever feels best for you. If we have not explored this range of motion with curiosity, then we might feel an imbalance. It might feel stiff, kind of sticky. And that's why we're here. Roll on the outside of your left foot, guide the left hip away, bring length to the spine, and let the pelvic floor drop to the mat. You can give yourself a little rotation in the chest, getting your sternum to face towards your left knee. Controlling the breath, or at least being mindful of how you're breathing. And bring it back down. Let's find warrior 1. Back foot down. Press into the feet. Let's rise. Let's take 2 breaths here. Back foot presses down. Squeeze the legs together. Torso facing the top of the mat. One more here, into the belly, into the chest. Find warrior 2. 3 breaths here. And then side angle. Remember, forearm to the quad, hand to the outside of the mat, or your foot. Keep that back edge of that right foot pressed down, it's anchored down. All right, that's your root. Don't lose connection to the earth. That's how we draw our nutrients. What you gonna do without mangoes in your life? Unless you're allergic. That's a little unfortunate. Continue to guide that left knee toward the pinky side. One more breath here. And then reverse it. Spin the back foot up. Left hand finds the sky. Right hand presses down. This also is your root now. It's touching the earth. Can you press the back heel away and maybe open the chest, turn your chin towards your shoulder. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Exhale, both hands down, pyramid pose. Press into the mat. Back foot gets light. We step halfway. Halfway lift, breath in. Exhale, fold. Pressing your foot down as if you want to leave your footprint in the mat. You can relax the back of the neck. Let the chin come down. And breathe through the intensity. You got 2 more breaths here. Step to the top of the mat, forward fold. Slight bend in the knees if you'd like. You can even pedal it out, kind of walk the dog. I like to even ragdoll here for a few breaths, grabbing opposite elbows and letting your head hang heavy in this frame that you've made with your arms. I like to add a little spice. Press your feet down. You feel the quads engage. Put a bit of the weight into your toes. And then deepen the fold by hollowing out the bottom of the belly. Good. And lift the tailbone. One more breath here. Halfway lift, hands into the shins, keeping some of that weight into your toes. Lift up, shoulders away from the ears. Reach the top of the head, far away. And exhale, deepen that fold. Circle sweep the hands high, press into the feet, hips come forward, roll the spine up, shoulders roll back, chest lifts. Let's pause here. Where's your breath? On the exhale, hands down, Tadasana. As you turn the front of your palms, externally rotating the shoulders, you may feel that the chest opens. I want you to like to take 3 breaths here. Feet feeling firm on the ground, glutes a little engaged as you bring the hips forward. Does this provide a solid foundation underneath so that the body, the rest of the torso, the neck, the head can find ease and alignment instead of feeling like you're texting? What's it like to let the shoulders and arms surrender to gravity? You don't have to pull them down, just gravity's got you. Now we're going to step our right foot back and find Malasana. We've been working the hips, so feet are going to point out about 45 degrees. From here, tuck the glutes, or like this ballerina teacher told me, a ballet teacher, tuck the fanny, and keep that tuck. Continue to guide the knees outward just like we were in Warrior, and let the hips sink down. If you have blocks, it might be nice to sit on those. Or you got the flexibility and the mobility, or rest here. Elbows on the inside of the knees. All right, hands at prayer. Press the hands together. Open the hips wide, tuck the hips underneath, and let's breathe. Now, if you find that you're rounding in the shoulders, breathe from the belly into the chest, lift up tall. Not just your chin, but lift the torso. Bring the sternum forward and press it into the center of your thumbs. Now, if you really want to take it up a notch, we're here for three more breaths. Remove the elbows, but keep the knees in place. Feel the glutes on fire there? Good. 2 more breaths, into the nose, down into the belly. Let the chest rise, shoulders relax down as you breathe out. Good, 2 more. Exhale, we'll find a forward fold. Feet a bit wider than shoulder width apart maybe. And again, let the head hang heavy. If you like to deepen your forward fold, feel free to grab the ankles, maybe even grab peace fingers around the big toes. Breath in, halfway lift the tailbone, extend the head, keep the tailbone lifted, fold. Two more breaths here. Engage the quads, press into the toes. And then find your way onto the mat within a comfortable seat. Legs going wide. We're almost out of here. I know I said 15 to 20 minutes, but you saw the timeline. You know it was a little longer than that. So take a breath in and exhale out the mouth. One more here. Good. On this inhale, hand sweep high, keep the shoulders low. They don't need to reach up to your ears in order for you to reach up high. On this exhale, we'll reach forward. Keep the tailbones anchored. Our roots, we don't want to pull it out of the soil. Some interesting Peruvian bug right in front of me. Let's take the next 3 to 5 breaths to be present with not the intensities that we may feel, but the sensation of the breath on the tip of the nose. In through the nose. Stay with the sensation as you breathe out. Into the belly. And let it go. Externally rotate the thighs. Let the toes kind of face out. The knees begin to rotate out too. You feel the glutes there. Just a few more breaths. You may even feel the inner thighs. Still maintaining focus of the breath and the sensation on the tip of the nose, not the intensities of the present moment. These sensations are fleeting, but the breath is constant, always with us. And one more breath for yourself. You deserve this one. Let it go. Deepen into the fold. And then slowly rise. Now from here, bring the feet together. Bring the hips a little closer to the heels, and then find your way onto your back. Reclined Baddha Konasana, or bound angle. One hand on the belly, one hand on the heart if you'd like, or onto the knees to add a little more resistance, more weight. And take the next 3 to 5 breaths here. We'll take the legs and close them like a book. Stacking the right ankle on top of the left knee for reclined figure 4. And we'll take 3 to 5 breaths here. So the hands may weave and grab the shin. You may also extend the leg, or you can simply just lift the heel off the mat if that feels like just enough for you. Now, keeping the tailbone anchored onto the mat. Maybe even guide the right knee away from the body. And let's breathe here. Not forcing or fighting our body. We're just working with whatever we got right now. Being aware of our momentary limitations. Accepting where we are. And then allowing the breath to help us reach new depths, or to simply be present. Release the left foot down. Grab the right knee into the hand. Take a good squeeze here. One more breath in. And exhale, release. We'll go for the second side. Notice the imbalance, the differences that you might experience in one side than the other. No shame, no guilt. It's radical acceptance. And we breathe. Release the tension in the jaw, in the face. One more breath here. Release the right leg down, take a hold of the left leg into the hands. Into the belly, into the chest. Release. And one more here. And we find Savasana. So a few tips here. In your Savasana, I like to think of this as the most comfortable pose you've been in all day long. So if the legs extended, actually it's not comfortable in the low back. Placing the feet flat down, feet as wide as the mat, and let the knees fold in toward one another. This will take that strain off the back, bringing ease and comfort to your present experience. And just for the next few moments, without trying to control the breath or control anything else, simply focus your attention on the automatic, natural act of breathing. Here you don't have to do anything other than be, observe, and witness the body take care of itself. Now feel free to remain here in this stillness if you'd like. Otherwise, you can join me as we close this practice. Taking your time as you ease your way into a seated position. You know, we stay focused on the roots today, being the lower half on the physical level. And also remembering that there's a huge lesson to learn from nature. That being connected to Mother Earth, Pachamama, the ground, is where we receive our nutrients. It's also where we feel a sense of protection and security. And so if we spend too much time in the head, and our thoughts, and worries, and stresses, and overwhelm, we forget that everything we need and everything that we have ever needed to get to where we are right here, right now, has always supported us, always will support us. We just have to remain connected so that we don't get lost in the worries, stresses, anxieties, and fears. So we take care of the roots, because without the roots, there are no fruits. Take care of yourself, family. From light to light. Know that I love you. I pray that you continue to honor your sanctuary. And I look forward to practicing with you again in the near future. Until then, much love. Namaste.